Welcome, everyone, to my show Views from My Balcony, which airs every week on Thursdays at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And this YouTube is for June 18th, 2020. There's so much going on in the world today, and there's lots of channeled messages from the Posse of Angels and myself. So if you are a returning watcher or viewer to my channel, welcome back. And for those who are new, I speak about my angelic family, the Posse of Angels, as I had an angelic walk-in experience in January 11th of 2003, which, by the way, I write about in my book, which is entitled I Am an Angelic Walk-in, and it's the autobiography of me, Angel Ariel, who is in the body of Claire Candy. So you will hear me speak about my angelic family, the Posse of Angels. Well, it is those Posse of Angels who spoke last week about how we are all in a chrysalis of healing. That's where we find ourselves. And we are just at the inception of feeling like we are able to take some form within our chrysalis. And we feel like we are just getting ourselves ready to break free and come out in all of our glory. This is a very hard-won glory, not just of what we've been through over the past traumatic 4 months with all of these revelations, how we've been lied to, and the corruption and the deceit, the crimes against humanity, but since we woke up and have been aware and conscious on our journey of ascension in this lifetime, but also B, from all other lifetimes in which we sought to bring more healing and light to a very controlled dark planet. Lifetimes, I might add, in which we were destroyed because of our efforts and our devotion to the light. This going within has been extremely important to help us look at how we needed to change from within. This is leading us on a path to find creative energies once again and to set the stage for what our lives will look like in the near future. With so many planets in retrograde, this is helping us to go within and do the internal work of transformation, to grow on a soul level in order to evolve. When the majority of those planets do move forward again in September, we are going to be focused on looking externally, symbolizing that we are ready to break out of our chrysalis. Now, the Posse of Angels is saying that at this important time of transformation now, if you are pondering on what makes you different, what makes you special and unique, then that is exactly what is meant to do of most benefit at this time. What makes you different, what makes you special, and what makes you unique. It's helping many greatly as they are thinking about ways they can invent and create those different ways of showing their unique talents to the world. The Great Awakening of Consciousness is affecting all corners of the planet. Within the Great Awakening, there is a third-dimensional aspect, and this is created by those who choose to stay in a state of fear. They talk blame, they talk judging, they talk about division, and yet there is a fifth-dimensional aspect of seeing this time as yet again another time of upheaval and chaos on the planet in order to bring about change. And being able to rise above it is being in the fifth dimension. Now, if we are in that fifth dimension, we've developed a practiced way of seeing and perceiving the world through a lens of love and forgiveness, which then helps us to encompass and hold and perpetuate a brighter energetic frequency for ourselves and for the planet. Since the fiery Sagittarius full moon eclipse, which happened on June 5th, and over the next coming week, leading up to the next powerful solstice solar new moon eclipse, which is on the 21st, the energy for many has seemed slightly like it's lifted a bit. It's become a little bit lighter, although I must say that on June 15th, Monday, and June 16th, that Tuesday, were very difficult days for many. I think it was just a crescendo of grief that hit a peak on the planet, and many felt just overwhelmingly sobbing, uncontrollably, grief-stricken. It was a very, very difficult day. Although since then, and by comparison, the energies have gotten lighter. Now the Posse of Angels is sharing that the veil is almost non-existent at this time, making many feel like they are euphoric, and they feel like they're going in and out of this sense of overwhelm and then feeling euphoric, feeling a sense of serenity and peace, no longer worried and no longer entertaining fear as our go-to emotion. We're already starting to feel the powerful energy gateway that is being produced by these two eclipses, the one that happened on June 1st, the one that is the solar one that is coming up on June 21st. And what will happen as a result of this powerful opening is that whatever one chooses to focus their attention on will be enhanced and greatly expanded, because that is precisely what eclipses do. They expand and they enhance energy. With our free will, if one chooses fear, worry, blame, despair, division, drama, judgment, then it will just bring more chaos and upheaval into one's reality. Or if one chooses to see this as a very necessary time of transformation on the planet, for much to be revealed, and in order to herald in a golden age of truth, love, peace, and forgiveness for all, then our reality will be a reflection of these energies. The people who have mastered this second way of being or experiencing the world have achieved being the observer, the witness, without evaluation, without having to make comment, without having judgment, as they carefully focus on making sure that their words, their thoughts, their emotions, and actions are of the highest frequency. The Posse of Angels is saying that within this second group, they've risen above the lower consciousness of the dark agenda's chaos, being played out as it no longer is supported on a planet of love and light and higher consciousness. Now, the Posse of Angels is assuring us that no matter where we are consciously, we're all heading toward an accelerated timeline of expansion. And no matter how our lives transpire and what we draw to ourselves, it will be manipulated by a controlling dark. It won't be controlled by a manipulated, controlling dark agenda, but it will be determined by our free will choices, and hence it will be different for everyone on how or even if they choose to evolve. With our beliefs and intentions and our deep knowing that we are powerful, multidimensional, sovereign, divine beings with unlimited power, we are creating other dimensional timelines of what we wish to experience in the future and what kind of world we wish to live in. We are formulating that in the present moment. The main focus for all of us for the rest of June will be working on ourselves. Remember, we are in this chrysalis of healing, passionately discovering creative ways of showing the world our unique and special abilities and how each of us can be the change that we wish to see in the world. The reason for this huge spike in creative energy is because with the massive transformation that is occurring on the planet, we are individually transforming as well. This transformation has led us to questioning everything, which has ignited the curious, the inquisitive, the inner child within all of our natures that could have been asleep and that were manipulated and programmed. With our minds no longer controlled, this freedom has opened us up like never before to yearn to discover. As we come to the end of June, making our way through these major eclipses, we are completing a solar energy gateway prophecy of ascending the divine masculine and the divine feminine to bring them into aligning humanity with our sovereign gift of being free. The freedom that the Posse of Angels is speaking about here is the freedom of lifetimes of enslavement and being controlled. Now, this is not to say that the dark agenda will not continue to grab at anything to create more chaos and upheaval, but it is their final death knell. And whatever they come up with in this time of great awakening, as the light of consciousness rises on the planet, it will not succeed, as their falsehoods will be rapidly exposed by so many awakened people. The only way that the dark agenda was able to succeed for such a long time was that we, as a humanity, kept ourselves silent from not questioning things, and in many ways, keeping ourselves in a prison of our own making. Sensing this liberation, many are feeling more adventurous, and this is creating the energies to draw to ourselves major transformations in our lives to fulfill those creative yearnings. Now, to best nurture the birth of this new creative transformation, the Posse of Angels wish for us to treat June as we are expectant mothers with our big bellies, ready for the birth of our child. With the Cancer new moon coming up and Mercury going retrograde as of yesterday, the 17th, it is giving us a necessary time out to recharge, and boy, do we ever need it. They wish for us to take a lot of time for self-care in June, being kind to ourselves with our words, our thoughts, and our actions. The self-care is so important that last week the Posse of Angels spoke about how the collective is feeling waves upon waves of grief. And this grief is leading many to feel so angry for the deception, angry for the lies, angry for the manipulation and the greed over human life and for the crimes against humanity. Those of us who are empaths and highly sensitive ones, we are already sensing Venus, the planet of love, moving forward out of where it's been retrograde, and it will be moving forward on June 25th. With Venus fully freed up to move forward, our hearts will be expanding, and the quiet and the stillness of June's energy is helping us to heal our hearts, healing the emotion of anger caused by this betrayal and the heartless destruction that we have seen. Venus moving forward is also helping the battle of opposites, good versus evil, to come to an end. We are experiencing no less than freedom from heartbreak and are being released to step into our destiny with so many things transforming and now being brought back into the light of God's embrace once more. Now, the Posse of Angels wish for us to know that we are so fortunate to be able to draw on the planet Cancer's energies, which are soft and they are healing and comforting, to support us at this time, as it is within this cocoon of support that we are feeling the elevation of self-love. Remember that the feminine energies are soft. They are yielding and receptive, all necessary things in order for us to be able to receive. Cancer energies are also supporting unity consciousness by elevating humanity to realize that we are all one world, and the more we come together, and the more that we see our similarities and work towards that oneness, the greater our world will be. It is neutralizing energy that will help us to eradicate separation and division. Separation of races, separation of cultures, separation of colors, separation of gender, separation of anything. We are all one. And this is a time which is helping us tremendously to bring that back into alignment of oneness. Now, the Posse of Angels is sharing that these cleansing, soft, healing energies of Cancer are opening up a heart gateway for wish fulfillment like never before, which will give many of us opportunities to then move off into new directions. But the Posse of Angels is quick to remind us that these opportunities may not come in the way that we expected, but they will be no less wonderful. They are saying that in this way, it'll be a very fruitful time of summer harvest with abundance coming in for many. Please do remember that in order to experience your own wish fulfillment, we must be open to receive, and our energetic frequency must be clear and of high vibrational frequency. With the divine feminine on the rise on the planet, it will help us to remove mental blocks of being enslaved, slavery, restrictions of our divine inheritance of freedom to truly experience our God-gifted abundant natures. As a humanity, we are being freed, and the Posse of Angels is showing me a vision of a very dark film of energy which had been covering the planet for thousands upon thousands of years. And they are showing me this dark film being disappearing as it's being burned away by the immense influx of light that is abundantly shining on the planet again. With all this transmutation of dark to light, a lot of abundance will be able to come in and be received. The Posse of Angels is sharing that we are on the cusp of much that will be manifesting with the new beginning energies of the solstice, which is on June 20th, and that solar new moon eclipse energy heralding those incoming powerful energies on the 21st. To help us at this time, it's important to allow intervention of the divine feminine to come in and help us to be compassionate, merciful, soft, receptive, to receive what actually is our abundance, that which is our divine inherent birthright. Now, to help, we can call in the assistance of the soft energies of the Ascended Master Kuan Yin, and of course, the beautiful, loving, heart-centered energies of the Ascended Master Mother Mary, both with their very compassionate and merciful energies. And if you want to call in an archangel, Archangel Chamuel is wonderful, as it is, or they are, the beautiful angel of love. This is in order to love ourselves enough to be open to receive all that which is rightfully ours as a freed human on planet Earth. Whatever has been blocking your birthright will be eclipsed out of your life now with this new beginnings energies of the solstice and the solar eclipse, bringing in an alignment of your divine union of your mind and your body and your soul, the earthly reflection of your divine eternal nature. Now, there are two more important astrological aspects that will be happening at the end of June that will be affecting many of us after we have a huge gateway opening brought on by the powerful solar eclipse energies. The first aspect has to do with the date, June 27th, which is when Mars, this is the planet of action, energy, drive, and desire, will be moving into Aries, where it will be staying for the remainder of the year. Now, Mars in Aries brings out the strong warrior in each of us, helps us to think about our goals and our ambitions, gives us a rush of energy, and motivates us to get things done. Then on June 29th, retrograde Jupiter aligns with retrograde Pluto. During 2020, this Jupiter-Pluto alignment, it happens 3 times. And every time it happens, it heralds new global financial markets. And on a personal level, it may be drawing us to really take a look at our financial situation and to dive deeper into increasing our energies of abundance. And the Posse of Angels wishes to remind us all that the energy of abundance has so much more to do with merely just material abundance. When we really allow ourselves to feel the energy of abundance, an abundance of love, an abundance of friendship, of health, of joy, of forgiveness, kindness, generosity, all of this abundance, this is the same energy that brings in opportunities. It sparks new ideas and helps us to really see the riches and wealth that is not only within us, but that is all around us. By tuning into abundance energy on this particular day and building up to that day, it can help us to be inspired, to feel more hopeful and optimistic and positive for the future. Although it may be overwhelming with so much, again, that is going on in the world, the Posse of Angels is emphasizing that what is of most importance now at this time and through June is to raise our energy, keeping our frequency high by focusing on gratitude and appreciation and align with our life's path. By aligning with your life's path, this will create a joy within you that satisfies a hunger to passionately create. And then we will draw those energies and connections to ourselves to abundantly share and serve others through our creations. Take time out in this quiet of June to visualize, to truly visualize and symbolize and imagine living the life that we wish to live and creatively bringing forth those things that we are passionate about to serve ourselves and then to go out and serve others. Going back to what the Posse of Angels and I mentioned previously, this reawakening of our creativity is the reawakening of our singular energetic signature, never duplicated in any space, time, and dimension. We are snowflakes, we are fingerprints, and no two of us are exactly the same. What will be highlighted by these eclipses is our life path, which is merely an extension of ourselves, our souls, in physical form on the earth plane. By honoring what makes us unique, we become whole selves, no longer fearful to be seen, no longer to stand out. If everyone were able to do this on the planet, this wholeness energy would then be the dominant energy with no competition, no judgment, only an energy of respect and honor for each person's individuality. The Posse of Angels and I have been sharing for years that each and every one of us holds a very, very important puzzle piece for the planet. Otherwise, we wouldn't have incarnated at this momentous, unprecedented time. And it is through our unique energetic signature that we creatively share with the planet that completes the energetic puzzle in order for the world to ascend. This is how much you make a difference in the world. And when I went to my animal spirit cards, there were 2 cards that came out to give us extra messages today. And the first card that came out was very telling. This is Snake Spirit. And its message is time to heal. It's a wonderful, wonderful confirmation of what we mentioned about in the quiet of June's energy, because along with the Mercury retrograde that we are in now, it's a time to heal the trauma and the upheaval of the last 4 months, but also to heal from the sadness and disappointment of long-held expectations that may not have been realized. And also, we are transforming energies from countless lifetimes of not being able to realize our desires and feeling controlled and held back. This is such a strong energy that even though we are not manipulated any longer, that our default programming may still be that we cannot realize our dreams and desires and that our efforts are fruitless. But Snake Spirit, as you can see, is a number 55 card. And 5 is the number of change. And when doubled, it is even more transformative change. Plus, double 5s add up to 10, which is a 1 card, which is about new beginnings and fresh starts. Snake is letting us know that it is time to repair, to renew, to replenish ourselves and our vulnerable hearts. Remember our previous message of how self-care is so important now. Be kind, please be gentle with yourself, and nourish and nurture your well-being. The Posse of Angels and I have spoken about how this is the perfect time to use these soft healing Cancerian energies and the energies of the planet of communication Mercury, now in retrograde as of yesterday, to really speak kind words to ourselves, to give ourselves credit for not just what we've done or accomplished, but who we are and all the loving, kind, compassionate, caring energies, words, and things that we have done and given to others. To those who were in distress, to those who needed some advice, to those who needed a shoulder to lean on, a friendly ear, these generous actions were absolutely priceless. Take time out to honor the work that you've done, to heal, to grow, and repair any damage within you. Love yourself for exactly who you are, even without any fulfilled expectations. Snake is asking us to shed the past and to practice radical acceptance now, for it's only by forgiving ourselves can we hope in any way to move on. While we are still in the healing chrysalis of June, as our new skins are forming, we may feel vulnerable and completely exposed, but realize that although you have been stripped bare, you are now becoming stronger, and self-forgiveness goes a long way to helping us to heal. The Posse of Angels is reminding us that the one who has been stripped bare and has been wounded and hurt the most has acquired very deep wisdom, and then often goes on to help others to heal. So thank you, Snake, for coming in. And then the next one that came in was our Koala Spirit, number 35, which is an 8, and its message is Spirit has a plan. With it being an 8, it designates abundance, a feeling of abundance, wealth and prosperity, good fortune. The Posse of Angels is showing me a vision of a very slow moving koala. And if you want to see me with a true live koala, which I held when I was in Australia a few years ago, it is on my Facebook page. So Koala is reminding us that the process of shedding of our skins and healing cannot be rushed and hurried, and it will be different for all. They want to remind all of us that all is in divine order. It's exactly the way that it's meant to be playing out right at this very second for the greatest good of yourself and the greatest good of all concerned. With it being an eighth card of abundance, it's reminding us that we will have all that we need and that God will always bless us with gifts to sustain us. We are being asked to trust and to move slowly with faith in the abundance that is everywhere and to surrender to a power that is greater to ourselves. Now, this Posse of Angels and I have spoken about how we are being led into no less than our soul's mission for our greatest service to the planet, and that we must surrender our expectations on how we thought our life would be. It is when we surrender and we let go of our expectations that creates space for us to experience the manifestation of our soul's deepest desires. Not what our egos wish, or not what we thought, but open ourselves up to our soul's deepest growth and desires. If you are feeling like you are lost, convinced that there is nothing more out there for you, and in despair that things won't change, please do know that all things are temporary and outer conditions are always changing. Self-care at this time is most important, reminds you to replenish so that you can venture out again in faith and restore your hope and trust that there is no limit to the joy and abundance that Spirit wishes for us to experience. A wonderful exercise to do is to imagine that you're a very slow-moving koala sitting in a tree. And while you sit there quietly, you may think about the richness, the abundance of loving family and friendships, the richness of your health. Now, this is especially true if you've had health issues in the past and you are now well and healthy again. Think of the abundance of wonderful experiences, of memories of trips you've taken, being with loved ones, eating, laughing, enjoying life. And even for those who are as a koala in that tree, you may think about not so wonderful experiences, but how you had the courage and you weathered those times and were able to grow and to learn much from that experience. In this quiet koala pose, the more we feel that richness in our lives, just the way that they are now, the perfection of it is in the now, even without fulfilled expectations, we begin to radiate gratitude and appreciation, which then radiates joy and sparks abundance within us, which mirrors that abundance that we seek. By doing this, we discover and rediscover our happiness, contentment, and acknowledge on how much we have been blessed and gifted with. And it's this energy that seeds more blessings and more gifts to be harvested in the future. The Posse of Angels is assuring all of us that God does have a plan for each and every one of us. And it is for our soul's greatest good and the greatest good of all concerned. Be good to yourself and reconnect with Spirit to reclaim your faith in the synchronicities, the magic, and the miracles which have yet to be seen. So thank you so much for that. Thank you everyone for tuning in. I did draw some cards on my views from my balcony page, and those cards were in this exact order, and I will just go through them again. The first card that we drew was the Eight of Cups, and this is the walking away card. This is not only the walking away card, but it's the looking back. It's the looking back on our past and seeing those things that we have been generous and kind and helped people with, those accomplishments that we did, and to give ourselves credit while we're in this quiet time of June, because and this is going to be setting us up, because with the eclipse coming in, with the summer solstice coming in, at this time, the more that we'll be moving into the summertime, we will be moving on from our current situations. And it's a great time 8 is the number of abundance, to abundantly look back at our lives, at the courage that we had to transform and transmute so many things that were out of balance in our lives. The next card that came out after that was the Sun card. And this is the radiance within each one of us, the creativity that is going to spark those new ideas of how we are unique, how we are special, and to bring out our energetic signature, to bring out those creative ideas. How do we want to express those things in the world? It may be something that you've done before, but this is a creativity for creativity's sake, and it gets us excited, and it increases that abundance within each of us. The next card that came out for us was the slow and steady Knight of Pentacles. This is not about rushing into anything. This is about very slow and steady progress. That what we will be creating and what our self-expression will be to the world will then create that opportunity for us to have long-standing material security and abundance that we are building up at the moment and will be building up. So, not to be rushed, very much like Koala Spirit. The next card that came out for us was the Three of Wands, which is that standing on that precipice as we are looking off into the future, watching those ships come in. The watching of it is the visualizing and the imagining. Now that I've done all of these things, now that I've accomplished all of these things, looking back over my life, and then seeing the result of those ships, the cause and effect of those things coming towards us. I always say 3 is the number of wherever 3 or more are gathered in my name, of God's name, miracles happen. So to watch the synchronicities and miracles come in as a result of those things that we've done, transformed, and transmuted in the past and gone beyond. The next card was the World card, and the World card is about a completion. It's not only about a completion, it's coming full circle so that we can start the journey again. It's the last card in the tarot deck. We have been through an amazing hero's journey to get us to this point, but it's not the end. It's the beginning of a new journey, a whole new world. And the last card was another 3, a card of synchronicities, magic, and miracles, about honoring our creative efforts and the abundance that will be coming in as a result of that. See, this gentleman in this card, he is painting the Madonna on a church ceiling and being recognized and rewarded for all of his hard efforts. So I hope all of that has been helpful for you. A couple of reminders. Please do remember, let me see here. Please do remember, everyone, that I want to remind everyone that if you are thinking about studying Reiki, or if you know of somebody who is interested in Reiki, I am a Reiki master teacher and have been for 17 years. I was attuned to both the traditional Asui method and also I have a master teacher degree in the Seshem Sechem form of Reiki, and I have been attuning Reiki practitioners and also hundreds upon hundreds of master teachers around the world ever since 2003. I love, absolutely adore taking people on their Reiki journey. This is so much more than just a healing tool, as it transforms the lives of my students. And then many of them have gone on to make it a profession. Many of them have gone on to not only become masters in Reiki, the technique and the tool of Reiki, but they have also gone on to be teachers themselves. So if you are thinking about doing Reiki, or if you know of somebody who would like to study, I am currently taking in students, and I teach over Skype and over FaceTime. And now that the ban has been lifted, I am teaching in my lovely office here in Santa Monica, California, in person. So if you are interested, please do call me at Angel Healing House, and that's 831-277-3716. And of course, that's Pacific Standard Time. As always, you can go on my website. If you're interested in my products, I have a guided angel meditation, letting go of concerns and living in the now. This is a guided angel meditation, 22 minutes, 11 seconds long, that gives exercises on a beautiful angelic journey, professionally recorded with beautiful sound effects, the sound of my narration, my voice, as well as beautiful music to help you release your burdens, to be able to live in the magic of the present moment. Oh, and then there are my books, of course. My Angels of Faith, about how we are divine and we are eternal and we do not die. We are those reflections of God's source, and we do go on after we cross over from the physical. And then there is my book, One True Home, Behind the Veil of Forgetfulness, about my 5 past lives. They were the most important as I grew the most spiritually, and what I did in between those lives when I was in our one true home in heaven. And then the sequel to that is I Am an Angelic Walk-In, the autobiography of Angel Ariel. As I, Angel Ariel, am in the body of Claire Candy, as I had an angelic walk-in experience in January 11th of 2003. So you can get all of those books not only on my website, which is angelhealinghouse.com, but the 2 novels can be purchased and downloaded as audiobooks, as they are on audible.com as well. Oh, and the books are on Amazon as well. So I'm wishing you so much love and angel blessings, everyone. Do take care, and I look forward again to speaking with you again next week. Take care. Bye.